Hey guys, welcome back to our small engine project. Today we're going to wind up putting the carburetor back on and our lever and our carburetor rod and our governor spring. Alright, let's get started. Push it down. Alright, so our intake port. And then we have our two threaded rods that come out. But if you see how this port, it's shaped like the letter D, but going the opposite way. So I need to put this paper gasket on it. Now, I want to have a gasket here because I don't want to have what's called vacuum leaks. This is going to be sucking air in here, and if we have any tiny little vacuum leaks, that's going to throw our air-fuel mixture off. Then we have this little spacer that's kind of broken. Someone broke it off, but it's got a spot for our ignition coil wire to go. But see how this side looks like the letter D? So we got to put that letter D facing the other letter D because this side is just a round circle. So round circle facing out. Alright, so now we got to put another gasket. See this one that has the hole in it? Hole's got to go upper left corner. Upper left corner. Now we have our carburetor. So the throttle plate side, not the choke side. This is the choke side. This is the throttle plate side. Throttle plate side down. And we line that up. I take my ignition coil wire, put it in that little piece of plastic, and then we have our final gasket, which goes, see that little opening right there? That's got to fit that hole. And then we'll have our plastic cover on, but we're not going to get to that yet because I still have some rods and springs to put on. Now when you guys work on it, for some reason there's always some kid that takes this spring off this rod. This spring stays through the rod. And I got to get you guys a nice close-up of how this goes on. So let me adjust my camera here. So you see how this is right here? It's got to go in the hole and then like that. You want to take it out, you pull it, it comes out. I've had kids bend these in the past and destroy them. All right, so that's how it goes in. Now over here on the carburetor, there's a little slot. Let me try to get this thing set up a little bit better that you can see it. Right here, this piece, if we lift it, we pull it out a little bit, this piece will go right in the hole and then it locks in with that little piece of plastic right there. Now the springs, this spring goes into that second hole right there, and then this spring, there's a little hole right there on the throttle lever. Oh, missed it. So when this opens and closes, that gives us wide open throttle and idle. So now we got to do our lever. And there's a spring that goes on our lever too. This spring right here goes in this first hole where there's 3 holes. So it goes in the very first one. And then underneath there's a hole that it goes into. So I take that. Put it in. And now I'm just going to bolt this on with a couple 8mm bolts. So we got our throttle lever on, we got our carburetor on, we got our springs on, our throttle rod, and now we're hooking up our throttle. I'll get that tightened up real fast. Now I've seen kids make this mistake too when they're taking it apart. This throttle lever will be here blocking that bolt, And they'll be like, I can't get this piece off, and they don't realize that they can just move this lever and get it out of the way. Then they make the same mistake when they're putting a gas tank bolt in. It's now in the way of getting the gas tank bolt, but if you move the throttle lever, it goes right in. Still hoping that we can get back to school and you guys can do this project. But I just found out today, where I live in Pennsylvania, they canceled school for the year. So no more school for the kids for Pennsylvania. I think they're just homeschooling them. So when I move this, that puts tension on that and puts less tension on it. All right. So once again today we installed a gasket, our spacer, a gasket, our carburetor, our, what a lot of people call linkage, so our rod and our spring, and our throttle lever and our throttle rod. Alright guys, see you next video.